Good morning, everybody. This week we are starting a transition into doing your homework online instead of having you do it on your own paper, take a picture, and then submit that picture. So I want to go through real quick how we do that. First, on my home page, you're going to see I'm going to do the calendar a little bit differently. I'm just going to list it out here. Nothing's going to be linked on the front page. You might have a video on occasion. But other than that, they're just going to be listed here, and I'll keep this a running list. It's just going to look different than what it did down below, like we were usually doing. So today you're going to be doing 9-1 to 9-2, the online practice. It's again some solving by square root method and solve by factoring method. So I'm going to show you where to access this. And then there's also this note about the Chapter 8 test retake review. And we'll get into that here in a minute. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go under assignments, or it does end up in your to-do list off to the right. And so you would be doing this one today, the 9192 online. So when you click on it, there's some directions that it's going to give you. So I want to go through these since it is the first online assignment that you have. This assignment will give you immediate feedback on what problems you did correctly and which ones you missed. However, the essay questions will need to be graded by your teacher after submission. It will score these as 0 until your teacher get a chance to grade them. Look for comments on these if you missed them. If you correct the essay questions for a better score, message your teacher so they know that you are waiting to regrade on essay questions. And here's another big thing. You have multiple attempts. Use the feedback and correct the problems that you missed, then resubmit for a higher score. So this is kind of on the line of I want you to learn from your mistakes. I can see how many attempts you have. So if you're somebody who goes through 4 and 5 attempts, then I know you're just guessing, and that's not helping yourself out at all for when we have a test coming up. So how are these going to be graded? So Canvas will show you the percent that you earned. It's going to convert it out of 10 points. So an example, if you earn 85% on a homework, it's going to show up as an 8.5. And that's when it's going to go into Skyward is about an 8.5. So I will round probably to the nearest half point. And then you guys can always message me if you're wondering why things got scored the way that they did. Okay, so then you hit begin, and it's going to start loading. Sometimes it's going to show you all the questions at once, and other times it's going to have you go one by one. It all just kind of depends on how we have it set up. But you'll see here on this one, so you're going to type in your answers. So let's say I did the math and this came out to be 1, 2, and 3. Just type them in. Then you also have ones like this. So it says hint there are 2 factors, which means you would click whatever 2 options that you think are correct. There's a bunch more fill in the blank. Sometimes there's multiple choice, okay, where you only have, you click one of these and go through. And then this is an essay question here where you're going to be typing stuff in. So this problem just wants you to type in a sentence or 2, describe how you would do this. But I also want to show you, you can get some math symbols in here by going to MathQuill. And it's going to pop up all kinds of neat things. So if I were explaining and I wanted to write a number plus or minus the square root of 36, let's even do this. Let's do the square root of 36 equals plus or minus 6. So it wouldn't make sense for this particular problem, but just trying to give you guys an example. So it looks totally normal here. And then when you hit done, it's going to look kind of odd when it goes through here. Just leave it because you'll see why when you submit it, you'll see how it was when you first typed it in. But it is going to look weird if you use that at first. Okay, so another thing on the essay questions is I have to grade these by hand. So when you first submit them, they're going to be graded as 0s. So your score will be a little bit lower, and then after I grade them, they will be adjusted. Okay, so let's say I decided I was done. Okay, so it says multiple questions haven't been answered. For this example, we're just going to say that, okay. So now it's going to grade it. It does tell you the time that you took on your attempt. So if you're rushing through it, I can tell. I do get that report, so make sure you are attempting it. So number one, it tells me what I got right, what I got wrong. Same thing with number two, and so on and so forth. So green means you got it right, red means you got it wrong. Anything that you got wrong, you can fix. So like here, if you want to take another attempt at it right here, so I could take attempt again. And I can go through and I can fix it and you can resubmit it. So that's your online homework. Today, you're not learning anything new. You're just going through and practicing this new online setup.